Police officers were standing next to the person as they did it. They saw everything. They saw the cut, and they turned their backs on me and let the guy that assaulted me walk away. And now I have a case against not only the police officers who walked away and arrested the guy, but I have a case against the guy that assaulted me. They could have fixed it there and then, and they couldn't. Another instance of negligence and misconduct by design requires turning up. You will be silent?
No!
You must keep showing the truth, exposing the lies.
Yes, sir.
And, we have to stand up for each other. We're a community. We're going to document, provide information. Yeah, that shit is They should also say, like, it's been a very tough couple of weeks. How goes out to the I'm so nice. Yes, I should be able to defend myself as a journalist. Lecturers welcome you to try.
I don't know.
She is.
She is?
Yeah. I video call her as well. And thank you all on behalf of the Minister for showing us because there was an issue with you.
Hold that shot. Oh, that's perfect. You guys because Julie's wrapping up.
Tell me that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Oh.
I'll stay for Jay.
Okay.
Come on. All right. You want to be a writer in this?
Yeah, sure. Supervisors. J.W. Walker.
All right. And now we have J.W. Walker from Rise and Resist, which, if you're not familiar, is a
Nonviolent direct action.
Should have been Eric Adams on there. We needed Eric Adams. Actually, goes
Yeah, he's not expecting to speak, but all I want to say is that we've been seeing the abuses
that these agents of ICE have been committing against immigrants, against their families, against observers, against people who are coming to offer the assistance to immigrants who are facing the horrors that ICE is visiting upon them for months now. I think that if we can put two and two together, we know that the attack by that one ICE person against the wife of someone that they had just kidnapped last week, and the way that journalist videos and images and reporting on that particular incident caused that incident to go viral and go global in a way that most of the incidents of ICE violence do not.
Yep.
I think that we can draw a direct line from that incident
Hell yes.
to the
Hell
attack
yes.
on journalists at 26 Federal Plaza
Hell yes.
yesterday.
Hell yes.
These
Hell
are
yes.
weak, spineless, hateful men who are drawn to that profession. They cannot handle scrutiny. They cannot handle the truth of their actions being put in front of their faces. And so they behave like small, petulant, poorly brought up children, and they lash out.
Yep, that's
We
it.
see that with these ICE people, with DHS. We see it with NYPD at protests constantly and have done so for years. And we are going to be stuck in that cycle until we the people and we the press and our legal system hold these law enforcement individuals to account.
Yes.
All right.
Woo!
We need a class action lawsuit
Yes.
against the NYPD alone.
Yes.
The violence that they have committed, the needless violence that they have committed against people who are peacefully protesting or peacefully documenting protests. All right. We need to hold our politicians accountable. Whenever there is a debate for this mayor's race, I want whatever debate moderator is asking questions to ask a question about the way that our press and our people are treated when we are exercising our constitutional First Amendment
Hell
right.
yes. Hell yes.
We have got to take a stand. Fascism is not coming. Fascism is here. And it is up to us to fight this authoritarian, fascist Project 2025 regime that is in place and to keep it from taking a stranglehold on our republic that will never be loosened. We've got 3 years to make sure that we get it out, and then we've got to worry about getting rid of it across the rest of the world.
That's right.
But in the meantime, we have to stand up for human rights. We have to stand up for the First Amendment, and we have to stand up for the journalists who are one of our last bulwarks against
Thank you,
losing every
journalists.
right that we have.
Yes. Thank you, journalists.
All right.
I actually watched Jay get doxxed in real time.
By someone with a very bad weave.
Extremely bad. Like, I don't think there's any gluten.
No.
Facing state pressure. Also, if you're curious, as press, I'm just gonna do this real quick. The press people here, if you're curious about ways to stay safe, you really can't. If they're gonna target you, they're gonna find a reason, and that goes for all of us, press and activists and just regular people alike. They do what they want. That's how authoritarianism works, right? But one thing that you can do is, if you are concerned, talk to the people that you live with about what to do if the police come knocking and what to do if they bust down your door. Talk about what to do if they take all of your devices. If you have an archive of any kind, back it up on a hard drive and then back that hard drive up on another hard drive and keep that somewhere safe. The intention of Alexa's arrest is a fishing expedition to find other people who are involved, which is ridiculous because why would the person who's shooting, like just taking photos, know that? It is also an effort to silence our speech documenting acts of protest that fall outside the boundaries of what's acceptable. I had to negotiate with the NYPD to be able to use the megaphone for that phone call, saying that I could not use the megaphone or any sound system for anything else today. I had to negotiate so you would be able to hear someone share their story or face arrest if we did not comply, which is ridiculous. Honestly, maybe we should use the megaphone and then they'll turn it into a big publicity stunt, and then maybe the New York Times, AP, etc. will care. What do you guys think? Do you want to get arrested today?
I want to get arrested.
No? Okay. Yeah, the New York Times would be like, 15 extremists arrested for punching cops.
Green hair.
With green hair or something. Yeah, it's supposed to be blue. This is extremely uncomfortable.
Can I take 2 minutes?
Huh? Yeah.
Can I take-
Just don't say anything. Don't say anything that is gonna land me on it. Wow. I'm already on the list. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
My name is Michael, and in a lot of places where you guys are working as journalists. One of the places that I spend a lot of time is at 26 Federal Plaza. And I disagree with some of the work that the journalists do. I don't think that you should be publishing children's faces.
Thank you.
I think it's really important. This is such a difficult moment for families, and they deserve privacy and dignity. And I've talked to journalists about it, and some people will make that decision, and some people won't. But authoritarians will do what they do and be able to consolidate their power 10 times more quickly if they're doing it in the dark. So we need you as journalists. We need you there at every protest, and we appreciate you and are grateful for that. In terms of the baby men that work at 26 Federal Plaza, like, the immigration machine is one thing that actually could stop in an instant. If you said, I'm not gonna break up a family and arrest someone because they're moving, like, my God says you may move on earth. That's not a crime to do that. If you stop, you'd be fine. Like, we would end that machine in a second, and everyone would be safe. Yeah. Okay, so there's the frog analogy, boiling water, and the frog would jump out if it just jumped into hot water and jumped out. Apparently, A, that's not true, and B, it's not that useful. It's like a scare tactic that things are just going to get worse and worse and worse. Another analogy that I've heard is there's a kind of beetle that when it's eaten by the frog, it slowly eats its way out the frog's anus. And that's what we need to be doing, is busting our way all the way through and get through this time so that we know eventually they'll be held to account. Eventually their masks will be ripped off. We know that day will come. It's just, what do we do in the meantime to minimize the damage that they can do?
Sir.
All right, at last, finally. I'd like to introduce the New York City Public Advocate, Jumaane Williams.
Love nights, everybody.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you to journalists. Thank you so much, not just for being here, but being over there, being all across the country, covering what's happening right now. Thank you so much. We thank you now. History thanks you in advance. for capturing what's going on. I want to say well wishes to the journalist who was thrown to the ground over there at Federal Plaza yesterday. I hear that he's doing better. I know there's a journalist that is facing deportation right now just for covering what's going on. I need everyone to know, one, we're all in this together. That includes our journalists, that includes our trans community, that includes our immigrant community, that includes everyone. When authoritarianism takes over, when they're trying to really instill fascism, they go after everybody. I also know, and this is a message to folks who drank the orange Kool-Aid a little bit too much, this is the result of that. This is the result of really believing that whatever situation you're in is because of some other group, some group that you don't like, and someone who's giving you permission not to like them. This is the result of that. Journalism is definitely not a crime. Journalism is needed now more than ever. So I'm hoping that journalists will continue to have the courage that's needed. I never say don't have any fear, because fear is human, but let's do the best that we can to match that fear with courage. I have a message also for New Yorkers and Americans, not the actual Nazis, not the actual white supremacists and the actual KKK folks. I'm talking about the folks who said that's not what they were voting for. I'm talking to the folks who said we were exaggerating about what was going to happen in this country. We were exaggerating about thoughts of authoritarianism. We were exaggerating about a wannabe dictator, a wannabe fascist. My question to you, and I want you to answer this honestly, what else do you need to see? What do you need to see to be convinced about what's happening? You see it on the TV, you hear about it, you see videos, you see your neighbors being thrown to the ground. Not some criminals, by the way, even if you were accused of something, you shouldn't be treated that way, but not the criminals they spoke of. They lied to you. They always had a way to deal with people who were dealing with criminal issues. They wanted to instill fear to certain communities. They wanted to use that fear to do very bad things, and they now want to make sure that journalists cannot cover. Please ask yourselves and be honest. What else do you have to see? We are in history. It is happening now. That is the case. The things you've seen the worst of in history began somewhere. They began just like this. So now is the time for everyone to step up, do with what you can, what you have, where you are. When you read the history books, you read about very specific names that we all know. What I want to do is to convince New Yorkers and remind Americans there are tens of thousands of people who we will never know their name, but we got past the worst in history because of them. So there is a part that you can play. There are people who made sandwiches. There are people who sung songs. There are people who prayed with folks. There are people who just showed up. So there's always something that we can do, and we have to do it. It is only going to get worse before it gets better, but I believe that we can get through this. People say this is not who America is. Unfortunately, it actually is. So I just want to let folks know this is. But there's always been a better America that we here are a part of. That better America has always helped move us forward. Please be honest with yourself when you hear about an action, when you hear about what's going on. We can't be silent, and we can't just tweet. We got to be out here.
That's right.
We have to be out here.
Thank you. Yes.
My children and my children's children who aren't born yet are depending on us stepping up and telling Trump, you've won a couple battles, but you won't win the war. We are going to make sure we stand up for the better America. Journalism is not a crime. Neither is being an immigrant. Neither is being trans. Neither is being black. Neither is being a woman. We are all here. You will not erase us.
All right, so real quick, we have Ashwood, who was a 1968 amputee, who wants to talk a little bit about the legacy of activism and what you're seeing today.
Well, I'm an old hippie. I'm in my 80s. Allow me half a minute. I'm the artist of this painting. The title is Women's Zen Slam Promo. That's the message. The message is that none of the issues are being addressed in this mayoral candidacy. The press doesn't ask the right questions, and we don't press them enough. Like we ask the right questions. They should be here. I want to see Ken Downey here. I want to see Polo here. I want to see Chris Stewart here talking to people. Instead, they just buy advertising, raise money they have to buy advertising. In 1968, at 3 in the morning, I was there with my roommate Jerry Rubin. The gendarmes, the soldiers, National Guard, came in with bayonets to get us out of Grand Park. I suffered 18 stitches in my chest, bayonets, I almost died. Right? Jerry, as some of you know, became one of the Chicago 7. He went to trial, very famous trial. My roommate here, afterwards, in New York. And that's what they do. They use power. They use strength. We need to fight fire with fire. We need to stand up to that. That's what it's about. The landlord-tenant court right here that doesn't start until 10:30. So 6 months backed up in the cases. They don't start until 10 or 10:30. Why? Because they're underfunded. He who has the goal makes the rules. The real estate industry has the goal. So the biggest single taxpayer of the city, property taxes. So they run the rules. They run the mayor, they run the congressman, they run the judges. We're not asking these questions. They talk about affordable housing. What do they mean? Describe it. What is it? We used to have SROs, single residency occupancy hotels. When we brought in all of the people 2 or 3 years ago, we opened up some of those hotels. We don't do it now. With 160,000 people on the streets between the shelters, what's on the street, they're dying every week in the shelter. Press isn't covering any of that. The AEMS takes them up to the hospital. They die in the hospital because they fell down the stairs, broke their neck. Right? They're dying every single day on the streets and in the shelters. Nobody's covering any of this. None of the legitimate press is covering any of this. Right? So we need to see them here answering questions because this is a mayoral candidate. One of the few times that the public would get a chance to vote, right? It's divide and conquer. It's always divide and conquer. They split us up. You all, we all, we're the only ones that can bring this up. We got to confront the press, the legitimate press. Stand up. Stand up, please. Please. I'm going out. I'm dying. I won't do it for you. This is your country. This is your job. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
That all press is legitimate press. If you are showing up to document and to report what's happening, you are legitimate. You do not need the backing of a major media outlet. You do not need a byline in a newspaper that people leave on the subway. You are press if you show up and document. You don't need this card. If you want to cover things, you show up and do it. The work is the work. That's it. People who sit at a desk and pontificate about how we're not legitimate are not doing journalism. They're being assholes. I dare any of them to show up and cover what's happening at 26 Federal Plaza, to cover the overdoses that are happening in these SROs, to cover the assaults on journalists who are trying to cover protests in the street. They don't show up. They rely on us to find out what's happening, and then they write about it from their high rises.
Type shit.
Nonsense. I don't have healthcare. They do. What the hell? I need healthcare way more than they do. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out. Please, please, please contact Manhattan District Attorney's Office, Alvin Bragg. You can find the phone number. Click Google. I can't look it up right now. If someone wants to yell it in the crowd, I'm queuing him up a little bit. If you want to call, please call. 212. 335. 9000.
Drop the charges.
Tell them, drop the charges.
Drop the charges.
Journalism is not a crime.
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 Thank you guys so much. All right, now let's go cover some crazy shit.
We're storming the federal building, guys.
I mean, it was.
Goes on until 6, right? Goes on until 6 p.m.
You want to get your bicycle? All right, there you go. I'll walk to your bike. Grab my park mine over here. There's 2
Building 92. 77?
Also, if you're looking for something to cover or you're looking for a protest to attend, go to Demilitarize Brooklyn Navy Yard. They're having a weekly picket happening now. It's at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. 77 Flatwood.
Starting now. Well, unless you want to get the late for
They start 4:30.
Yes, they like go to like I think like
So I just like, yo, you all like but we cool though. It wasn't like that song, bro. Like, it's kind of oh my god.
So nice to meet you. Yeah, she didn't actually this year.
So, ladies and gents, so basically what transpired yesterday in this building, that building over there, that building over there is 26 Federal Plaza. What happened yesterday was that 2 journalists was attacked in that building by agencies from immigration, and as a result, one of the journalists was hospitalized. That's 26 Federal Plaza right over there. That's where people come for like immigration interviews and stuff like that. So basically what's happening now is that when people come in for the interview, they are held by immigration and then deported.
I know. What are you doing here? They're getting paid at the same.
Another tactic that they're doing is that, like, if you have a court case and say, for example, you show up at the courthouse, basically what the court officers, they do is inform immigration that you're there for a case. They go by there and then you are handed over to immigration. So yes, ladies and gents, it's getting real out there. So, yeah, so that's Federal Plaza right there. 26 Federal Plaza. Right there. That building right there in the background. Yes, sir, I don't.
Yeah, literally, yeah. And it was so weird.
This area over here is known as Foley Square. This is Foley Square right there. We got all the courthouses in this area.
This month, we're still gonna get someone.
Yeah.
Center Street, Pearl Street. So Wednesday, not Wednesday, Friday, that is, I'm gonna take you guys to where P. Diddy or Sean Combs, the hip hop mogul, is gonna be, they're gonna sentence him on Friday
sometime Friday morning. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to that area. It's just like probably a block away from here, and then I'm gonna stream live from there. So far, rumors is that they're gonna give him like 11 years. How true is that? I don't really know. You know, the judge is the one that's gonna decide that. Several people thought that that Puff was gonna get off this case, but the impact statement from the victims has changed a lot of stuff as it relates to how much time he's gonna get. I believe Cassie and the other victims, they wrote a letter to the judge stating that they're in fear of their lives and stuff like that, and they're suggesting that he be sent away for 10 to 20 years or so. So ladies and gents, thanks for stopping by as always. I gotta head back to the Bronx. So I'm about to end the stream right about now. Thanks.